So we got a question from Miles, who is wanting to get into some jiu-jitsu competitions, but he's worried about the threat of a guard jump, meaning someone jumping, pulling guard, and then, or not really pulling guard, but jumping guard and causing him to twist and, bust up his knee or his ankle, something like that. Currently he's a white belt, and so obviously as a white belt, a lot of places don't allow the guard jump, but obviously at some point he's going to be a blue belt, purple belt, whatever, and when he gets into the competitions he's going to be worried about that being a thing and possibly being injured. So Miles, thank you so much for the question, brother. I'm going to give you a couple ideas to think on, a couple ideas to chew on, get it? And this is my lovely assistant, Mr. Adam Wilson. Alright guys, so any of the really nasty guard jump injuries that I've seen for the most part have come from when the person is, and let's actually talk about what a guard jump is real fast. So Adam jumps guard, bang, gets the guard, right? That's the idea. Now, where I see most of the gnarly injuries from a guard jump are typically when someone's standing more straight up. And it typically happens because the guy will jump, or the guy will jump and sort of kind of twist off to the side, and their leg ends up buckling in and usually tearing an ACL or something like that. One of the worst ones I ever saw was at the AGC. I was actually a ref at this tournament. It was a number of years ago. The ref says go, that's me, and then all of a sudden the guy runs and he just jumps into the guy, and the guy's leg buckled back like that, and he sprained or tore something. And then this past year at the Pans, I was watching a guy. There was a wrestler versus this guy was a guard jumper, and the wrestler kind of he stood up a little bit straight. He was kind of far out, and he kind of stood up straight, and when he was locking up, the guard jumper, I mean, he just lunged at him and it ended up tearing his ACL. So it's a pretty nasty thing, and you got to be careful with it. That said, when you're in a tournament, if you have the ability to do so, watch the guys coming up before you, see if they're guard jumpers, and if they are, kind of keep that in mind. But just a good idea if you're worried about the guard jump is, first off, let's get into a little bit of a lower stance. For the guard jump to be pretty effective, he's going to have to really throw that leg up high to get a, to basically catch onto my hip. So if my arms are here like this, if we're here and I'm down low, if he starts to throw that leg, boom, I can start to block. If he was to try to jump, I mean, I could literally just push him. And I'll tell you this, there's been times in tournaments where guys have jumped guard on me, and I'm in a low position, and I'll just give them a shove. They fall on the ground, but that's their fault, not mine, okay? I'm not slamming them, that's different. If I was to, Adam jumps, you go and jump guard, and I, boom, and I slam him, that's no good. If I'm right here, and Adam tries to jump, that's good right there. I mean, I can just push him off. Another good one is especially if we're in the gi, if I can't get my hips back for some reason, or if I just get caught here and I'm worried about it, I can take this hand on the belt. If Adam was, again, to try to jump up, I mean, he can't jump because he can't get his hips close enough to me. This is fun, I'm just throwing Adam around. So the idea that I would share with you is, first off, low stance, because it's going to make it harder for them to jump guard. They can still pull, but them getting that really right up there, if we're down low here, working in, it's going to be hard for them to jump, okay? And then if for some reason, if we're really close, we can grab here on the hip or this belt if we can get a hold of it. And again, this will keep his hips away from me. Even on a guard pull, if I'm worried about the guy pulling guard, this is even hard for him to just step your foot and pull guard, because I can push against the hip the whole time. So just something to think about. So low stance, possibly a belt grip there, but I think the low stance is just a good idea, just in general, to stop the shots, stop takedowns, and to keep the person back away from your hips, from getting up under you, or jumping that guard. And at the same time, with your knees being like this and having some bend in them, we're not going to get to that position where your leg buckles out. It's not to say that it will stop all injuries from the guard jump, because again, Jiu-Jitsu is a full contact sport. There's a lot of dynamic movement going on, and injuries are possible. But you can mitigate those by getting a lower stance and keeping them far away from your hips. So, Miles, hope this helps, brother. Thank you so much for the question. I'm finished. Adam?
Adam.